Hey, what's up everyone? Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye here, and I'm going to review a lens that you probably never heard of before, but something that should definitely be on your radar. So it is the Tokina 17-35 f4 full frame or crop sensor lens. We're just going to do a slight unboxing. So there you go. You get a warranty with it when you buy it new. You get directions you can't read. You get a top box that has a gigantic cutout because this is a very wide angle lens. There you go. This is it. Unboxing over. Take it out of this. Audiophiles, you'll love this sound. Bam. I'm actually gonna throw this on the camera in a couple seconds just so you can see the whole video and pretty much the quality of this. But I bought this because I really wanted a wide angle lens for my full frame system. I wanted a wide angle that was something more versatile. It wasn't necessarily expensive, and I think I found a great option that not a lot of people are talking about. And it's probably one of the sharpest full frame lenses you could own for a fraction of the price. This Tokina 17-35, you could technically still buy it new. I think it started in 2011. You can still buy this new from B&H and Adorama, except it's on back order right now for about $450 or $60. I got this used for around $300 on eBay. It's so worth the money. So here you go. This is 17 millimeters, ultra wide angle. You see how much more you see of the room. And once again, this is on my Nikon D600. And once again, I bought this for a lot of options because I wanted something. I didn't necessarily need a 2.8. The f4 is fine, especially for I wanted to do and I wanted to incorporate with some of my weddings coming up. So I'm gonna probably do a little bit more with this lens and post more pictures. But a lot of the test shots and everything, I really think that it's fantastic. But I just wanted to show you the scope of what you get with this compared to, so this goes to a 35. So let's zoom in. And what's interesting is it looks like the aperture locks at about f8, especially in video mode. I'm not 100% sure about that. I'll obviously confirm that. But so it's as tight as I can go. And you see everything pretty much stays consistent. So very interesting to note is that, you know, is of that and that you can get that much range. Once again, it's full frame. Well, the cool part is that it also has a built-in lens motor, so it can work in all your newer FX cameras, which already have built-in motors. But even if you go more entry level and you want something wide angle that you're not paying a lot for, except your kit lens is pretty good for what it is. But if you want to step it up and have something better, this could be a great option. And it has a built-in focusing motor right on the lens itself. So you can use it in your D3000 series, your 5000 series, earlier Canon series and everything. So keep that in mind. It's a cool option. So once again, you're still watching this on the Tokina, and there are just some pretty cool things about it. I mean, it's got a fantastic glass. There's 13 elements in 12 groups, 9 blades. So I don't, you know, kind of looking at this, I don't know if you're necessarily going to have amazing bokeh. I mean, this is pretty much, you know, focused close up. That's what bokeh might look like. Maybe if you get a little bit closer, but the cool thing is that you can really get close with this lens. It's not really a macro lens for that matter. It is, you know, just a regular standard super wide angle, but for that you get what it, you know, you get what it is. There are really no physical external buttons or anything. You do get a little bit of the scale, so that way you know what kind of focal range you're at. But other than that, it's just a one touch. It's interesting. I don't know if I enjoyed it or not, but it's a one touch focusing system. So if you have the focus all the way towards the front of the lens, it's an autofocus. But if you pull it backwards, which you'll see in this B-roll here, if you pull it backwards, it's only manual focus. So you can't do both. You can't override. So if you want to fine tune and get something better, if you're locked down or something like that, manual focus, pushing it towards you would be the better option. But if you want more autofocus, have it towards the front. And that's the only thing you can do. There's no two things. But when it comes to autofocusing, I'd say it's pretty decent. I don't necessarily know if it's the fast, and you know, if it's the fastest in the entire world. Once again, it's from 2011, the tech in it. But it is a little bit loud and clunky when it focuses, so keep that in mind. Even though it's supposed to have, you know, silent motors or whatever in it, it really wasn't the best for that. There's no image stabilization within this lens, but it's wide angle, so you most likely don't need it, especially if you're shooting at, you know, like f4 or whatever. You're not necessarily going to need it as well. But speaking of it being wide angle, here goes the Bric Test, and I took it at 17 millimeters, and there's pretty much absolutely no distortion. I mean, it looks phenomenal. I mean, you get that kind of stuff out of the Nikon 14-24, which you're spending, if not triple the price for. So keep that in mind. You're actually getting something very useful out of this. Now, there was a problem I took of like the wall back there. I did the vignette test, and around f4 at 17 millimeters, you do get a little bit of vignetting, which is easily correctable in, you know, Lightroom or Photoshop. You just remove it a little bit and you're fine, but keep that in mind. It is pretty sharp around the center of the images. You don't really get a lot of blurriness, but if you go to maybe 20 millimeters, f5.6, 6.3, you're getting a very, very sharp image with no distortion or any kind of vignetting around the edges or anything of that sort. Really, two more things to just talk about is just the size of it. I mean, it's very small, it's very lightweight, it's not large, it's not clunky. The Nikon 16 to 20, the Nikon 16 to 35 can get a little bit heavy. The 17 to 35 is definitely heavy by Nikon. The 14 to 24 is just very bulbous. You get a little bit of heft with that. So you get that in that matter. They say this is very weather sealed and it's got a water resistant, not submerging the lens into water, but like if it rains or something like that, it says it has a special coating over it. The other thing that comes down to this is that there is another option from Tokina called the 16 to 28 millimeter f2.8, which is also full frame, but you're also spending well over $600, almost $700 on that, all depending on where you get it. Used, you can find it for a little bit less. So I chose this option because it's way more affordable. It's not that much difference, and technically you're getting a little bit more out of it. But yes, it's not as fast. But for what I do, indoors at a wedding, 2.8 would be great. But I'm not shooting wide angle of the reception and the couple getting married at 2.8. I'm gonna be at f4. I'm gonna be at f8. And you can do that with pretty much any lens like that. So this was my review of the Tokina 17 to 35 f4 Pro lens. Definitely worth checking out for the money. Definitely get it used. I got lucky and got this for around $300, but for around $350, it might be an easy buy. So go check it out. It's pretty much a hidden lens. Nikon, Canon. I doubt they make Sony, obviously, but built-in motor. You can use it on full frame and crop. Check it out. It's pretty good for the price range. If you have experience with this lens, or if you have it, let me know down below, or let me know what wide angles you use and why you use it. Let me know down below. See ya.